53rd consecutive sellout at Mackey Arena. Just under 15,000, ready to see the Nittany Lions, the top-ranked team in the land, the Purdue Boilermakers. And off we go with Purdue controlling the tap. 21-1, best start in school history. The only loss here, January 2nd against Rutgers. Again, Purdue coming off a 16-point win here against Michigan State this last weekend.
No surprise, Penn State mixing in some 2-3 zone here. They are going to give different looks. We might even see some triangle and 2, box and 1, but 2-3 on the first possession.
And Purdue going late in the shot clock, and an air ball against that zone, so a good start for Penn State defensively with the air ball by Lawyer.
I don't think that Micah Shrewsbury is going to hold anything back here tonight, and it's going to be zone. They're going to show Zach Edey different looks. They're going to trap. They're going to try to make things a little more difficult than it was at the Palestra because Edey was dominant, 30 and 13.
That game, January 8th, Purdue winning that one 76-63, although in that game, Penn State was up 6 at intermission. Here's Jalen Pickett. Drive and kick, there's Hen, and Hen getting just his second start, knocks down the 3.
That's a huge shot. You see Edey coming over, Purdue trying to rotate out of that post trap. And Michael Hen, 10 points against Michigan, knocked down a couple threes in that game. Didn't score in any other game in January, but making a big one to start this game here for Penn State.
Yeah, how about that? No points since December 29th, and now 13 in his last 3 halves. Now Purdue getting an open look for Braden Smith. Short from deep, and a rebound coming down to Dorsey.
Purdue got a wide open shot. Penn State not rotating out, and the trap was good, but they're going to have to give a better effort getting to guys like Braden Smith.
Boy, that rolled around and off, but Michael Hen coming out aggressive here tonight. Michael Hen is a 25-year-old, 7th-year senior who has played at 5 different schools. Caleb First will try it from deep, raising the front of the iron. I would say so far Penn State making it tough for Purdue to get it inside.
Edey really has only had the 1 touch. He had to give it up, and that's exactly what Penn State and Micah Shrewsbury wants to see.
Meanwhile, here's Jalen Pickett. Tapped out to Morton.
Block out there. Braden Smith getting low and doing work so Purdue can clear that board.
Smith trailing. Purdue starting cold. And again, a great block out, keeping Edey off the glass.
It's going to be a challenge. Leads the Big Ten Conference in offensive rebounding at almost 5.5 a game. So far, that time Michael Hen putting the body on him and keeping him off the boards.
This is Purdue's 5th trip. So far, Zach Edey has had just that 1 touch of the basketball. Let's see if they can get it to him here. Kind of just keeping those bodies in the paint.
I think they're in a triangle 2 right now. I think they're but at times Purdue's not going to know. I'm not sure Penn State's going to know, but they're going to mix it up.
Well, Edey kept that possession alive. Morton misses, but Caleb First did not.
He's one of the best offensive rebounders, and not just the Big Ten, but in the country. Top 35 in offensive rebounding rate. Hasn't had an offensive board in 2 games, though a little bit surprising, but there he is making an impact early, getting on the glass.
Free-flowing so far. No whistles in this game through 3+ minutes. A great cut, and Lundy throws it down.
Lundy utilizing Hen as not just a passer, but also a screener. He's cutting right over the top, sawing it off the passer, and Hen dropping it off with the fundamental bounce pass.
So much focus on Pickett. Don't forget about Seth Lundy at 14 points a game. And don't forget about Zach Edey at 22 a game.
That's going to be there from the top of the key, whether it's man-to-man or zone. They can feed him there. It's tough to bring multiple bodies. You need to get into his strong left shoulder.
Pretty good shot, though, from Hen. They're going to have to step out, I would
Micah
think.
Shrewsbury wants him to shoot that. They are going to encourage him to get him up.
In the corner first. But there's Edey on the weak side.
That's what makes him so tough to defend. Purdue's best offense can be miss a shot and let First and Edey go to work.
Zach Edey, not only the Big Ten Player of the Week, the National Player of the Week after his performance Sunday with 38 points against the Spartans.
Michael Hen looks tiny next to Zach Edey. He's playing center against him.
Great shooter Andrew Funk, his first look off the mark. Yeah, Hen 6'8", 245, no match for the 7'4" center. Great footwork, but first could not get it.
Everything but the finish there. Had to finish with that right hand. And first being a lefty, $1 million move, but just tricks the layup off.
Almost 5 minutes here without a whistle, not a foul in this ball game. He'll take another. 2 for 3, and all 3 have looked really good.
I mean, the feel, though, by Jalen Pickett off the ball screen, getting so deep, you suck that defense into the lane. He's playing off 2 feet. Just that feel there, knows he's got Hen behind him. That's his shooter. And Hen with a great start to this game here at Mackey Arena.
His second start in a Penn State uniform. And there's Ethan Morton with a rare triple.
That's a big shot because you can see right there, Penn State, they're just not going to rotate to Ethan Morton. I think they're going to make him prove it. He's going to be the all-time help guy in pick and roll.
And if he gets looks, can he knock him down? He's just a 26% three-point shooter.
His 4 games, though, 3 of 7. And has had some makes go down here lately.
Late in the shot clock, Hen again. 3 3-pointers in the first 6 minutes for Michael Hen.
This is exactly what Micah Shrewsbury was hoping to see. He made a couple on Sunday against Michigan, 2 for 2 from 3 in that game, and certainly going to be a tough cover for Zach Edey. Michael Hen picking and popping.
Michael Hen, 10 points last game, 11 in another game. Those are his only 2 double-figure performances this season. They were pounding Edey. He gets another touch. Here comes the double. No whistle. Well, there is a whistle, and it's a defensive foul. Count the bucket. With a mission to save lives through bone marrow donation through the Be the Match National Marrow Donor Registry. And they're having that initiative here. People can sign up in the concourse, and you can sign up by texting 61474 and the word Andrew to be a part of that as well. A good job by not only Micah Shrewsbury taking on that initiative, but also, of course, Matt Painter and the Purdue staff agreeing to wear those shirts as well. Seth Lundy, short from deep.
They are going to get opportunities because Purdue is post-trapping Pickett. They're coming with Edey. Penn State has got this Boilermaker defense in some rotations. They've got some open looks from 3.
There's an open look in the corner, and down it goes for Mason Gillis.
It's a big shot for Gillis. Just 3 of his last 11 from 3 over the last 4. And Penn State going to try to junk this thing up. They're going to be in some funky-looking zones here tonight.
They've already had 5 lead changes in this game. Purdue has won the last 5 in this series, including that January 8th meeting we referenced at the Palestra that was a very pro-Penn State crowd. Fading away, and there's the first bucket for Jalen Pickett.
He's just so patient. He finds ways to get space. He's comfortable with that step back. It's a tough shot. Just a stellar player.
He and Zach Edey were among the 20 Wooden Award finalists that were listed this week. There are 20 of them, 4 of them from the Big Ten. Those 2 guys, and then Trace Jackson Davis of Indiana, Chris Murray of Iowa. Well, that did everything but drop, and then a whistle and a foul on Penn State.
And with these 3 staffs and these 3 programs, I think it's just phenomenal that Matt Painter is doing this alongside of Micah Shrewsbury as well.
Absolutely. Boy, Mason Gillis, now he's hit 2 threes and Purdue's up 4. Funk. No. You got to watch out for Andrew Funk.
Oh, yeah.
Hit more threes than any other Big Ten player.
Purdue really fortunate there. Brandon Newman, he got just a little far off from there, and Funk got a good look.
Smith, crafty, yes.
That change of pace is so hard to guard. Braden Smith, Matt Painter's been on him to be aggressive. Right there, that's him doing just that.
10-2 run here over the last almost 2.5 minutes. Funk again, top of the arc. He doesn't miss many, but he's 0 for 2.
Brandon Newman guarding him, but he just encountering screens. The trail Funk. Funk 21 of his last 46 over the last 5.
But he has struggled to shoot it on the road. He shot it really well at the Bryce Jordan Center, though.
You look at his numbers and wins. It's so different from what it is in losses.
47% in wins for him. Edey, no. Tapped around and taken by Cam Winter.
Nice job by the freshman, Kevin shy of holding his ground and making Edey score over the top there.
Michael Henn, who had those 3 early triples, is ready to check back in for Penn State.
Penn State loves to slip those screens, whether it's Dredd, Funk, you have got to be locked in. There's no screen, so no need to switch.
Jalen Pickett using the pivot foot, and it comes down to Edey. Smith, driving kick, in the corner. That one a little strong from David Jenkins, but there's Edey cleaning it up. He's got 8 and 6 already.
Look at everybody else for Penn State out there. Edey is just so much bigger on that rebound, so much further over the top of everybody going. It's just too easy, but I'm really not sure what you can even do about it.
Second chance points already 9-0 Purdue. Funk, a rare 2-point try for him, but he's 0 for 3 now. Purdue still doesn't even have a foul in this game, and we've played over 10 minutes, and they're up 8. Speaking of fouls, that's the 3rd of the game. All of them now on the Nittany Lions. During the sporting events, especially during the football season. How about Purdue right now, Rob? No fouls and no turnovers in this ballgame.
And dominant inside, whether it's been on the glass, points in the paint. It's now 14-2 points in the paint, 9-0 second chance points in favor of Purdue. They've gotten Penn State 15-7 on the glass. They have dominated with their size.
This game was tied at 11. Since then, Purdue has really taken off. Can Penn State do anything to counter what's going on right now?
I mean, they've got to make shots from the perimeter. That's going to have to be the deal. They are severely undersized. Can you flip that matchup? You're going to struggle with Edey on the interior, but you've got to make them pay with guys like Michael Henn and some of their shooters outside.
That was the first foul against Purdue. It goes against David Jenkins. Henn from deep. No, he's been the offense so far for the Nittany Lions.
He's made a couple here tonight. Micah Shrewsbury, though, didn't like the shot. A quick one, and felt like a little bit of a heat check.
Down inside, Trey Kaufman-Renn getting some minutes. Edey getting a breather. Brandon Newman. Battle on the glass. Lundy gets the rebound. Gillis thought he was fouled.
There was a lot of contact on that block out. I think Mason Gillis has a very fair complaint there.
Knocked out, stays with Penn State.
Yeah, he's just holding them the whole time. I don't know.
Mason Gillis does not get the call. And on we play. Penn State is 0 for their last 5. They've only had 1 field goal in the last 5.5 minutes here. Pickett tried to change that. Drops it off, stripped, but it falls right to Henn, and he already has tied his career high with 11 points.
A little bit of right place, right time there. Trey Kaufman-Renn getting a hand on the basketball, and it just finds its way to Henn. One of those nights right now where everything seems to be going his way.
I mentioned this is his 5th school that he's played basketball at. He's been all over the place. And how about this first half for Gillis? He's got 9.
He's a really good player, and he's certainly accepted a role alongside Trey Kaufman-Renn and Caleb First, where they split minutes at the 4. But a beautiful action by Purdue, a little roll and replace, and he's there on the backside.
Extra pass to the corner. Pickett can't get it.
Right now, Penn State is just ice cold from downtown.
That is where they make their hay. There's a foul. It'll send Jenkins to the line. Jenkins is coming off his season high of 11 points, but he misses the first free throw.
He's really given them a boost in multiple games. You think about the Ohio State game on the road, or Marquette in this building. He's got the ability to make shots and also make a play off the bounce at times. Think about a weapon like that off the bench. I really like the way and the mentality that David Jenkins is playing with right now.
Just a guy who's seen a ton of basketball, 6 year in college. 147th game that he's played in at this level today.
And by all accounts, just a phenomenal teammate.
He gets a breather right now. Penn State down a dozen, their largest deficit.
Gillis just disrupting the flow of that ball screen. Purdue really locking down on defense.
And Lundy's got to put it up. And Lundy somehow got it over Morton.
It's about as well as you can guard it. It's one where if you're Ethan Morton, you tip your cap, and that's just Seth Lundy making an incredible individual play.
Penn State now 4 of 10 from long range. They make almost 11 threes a game to lead the conference. How about Gillis? He's got a dozen.
Micah Shrewsbury is furious that they want to help onto the post, but certainly not off Gillis after he's made 3, and Shrewsbury letting his defense know about it down the court.
Late in the shot clock again. This time Dorsey. Smith flying through. Morton. Finger roll. Offensive.
In transition, Ethan Morton trying to make something happen. I think that's a good call. Nice play by Michael Henn coming over and taking that charge. Here's the shot from Lundy. A little bump there to get some space. Find some room, and it's a big-time shot. You cannot do this if you're Caleb Dorsey. You go down on the post. You leave a guy who's already made 3 threes here in the first half.
Up top, speaking of threes, Lundy off the mark. Lundy gets it back, sticks it home. Hustle play for Seth Lundy.
Made up for it. A shot that I don't think Penn State wants there. They want to take threes, but they want to get good ones. Early in the shot clock there, give Lundy credit for staying in that play and making something happen.
Rob, on the last Purdue possession, that charge by Ethan Morton was our first and only turnover of the game. Two teams that don't turn it over much, especially Penn State. They lead the nation fewest turnovers a game at 8.7.
Two teams that don't force a lot of turnovers either.
Yeah, that's true too. Gillis again, why not? He can't get it there. His 4 threes is already a career high.
That's surprising. I know 4 threes is a pretty hefty amount, but the caliber of shooter that he is, I would have thought of him 5 or 6.
Great anticipation, Smith. And the finish. Nice back cut, good feed from him.
Such a good cut, and we saw it from Seth Lundy to start this game for anyone who can make a shot, because Purdue is going to go over the top of those handoffs. That leaves you a little bit exposed at the rim.
Andrew Funk's first points. Again, they're going to need his outside shooting if they're going to hang in this one. I think Gillis was ready for a clean feed and going to put that up. Didn't get the chance. Now late in the shot clock. Kaufman-Rid had it knocked out. There's 1 to shoot. Let's go back to that steal. Stay live instead with just 1 on the shot clock. Zach Edey was just on the bench for 5 minutes and 20 seconds, and Purdue is still up 10. Got to get it up. Lawyer down to Pickett. Surprised though, Robbie, that Edey was on the bench that long?
I think Purdue doing some positive things. Get a rest for the big fella. I mean, he doesn't get many of those things. Has played 30 minutes in so many games this season. So I think whenever Matt Painter can find a rest like that, he's going to do it.
There's Funk. Can't get the rhythm going from outside.
Penn State got off to the hot start shooting, and it has been the freezer since.
Now they're at 37%. Lawyer tapped out off of Edey. It belongs to Penn State, and we have our final media timeout of the half.
He brought a ton of new offensive concepts that we implemented, and I think, you know, certainly Matt Painter's taught Micah Shrewsbury a lot, but Micah Shrewsbury's taught Matt Painter a lot about the game as well.
everybody that goes against Micah Shrewsbury is so impressed with the things that he draws up and what he's been able to do. Yeah. I mean, and when you got players like that, it helps. Seth Lundy, tough fadeaway.
Look at Lundy and Henn have carried the load. Pickett just 2 points. Penn State just 4 of 13 from 3. They are still in striking distance here, and with Pickett struggling a little bit, you feel okay about where they're at.
Henn and Lundy with 20 of the 24 so far for Penn State. Edey with so many bodies around him. Smith from the wing. There's Edey, though, and they're going to call that on the big fella. First foul on Zach Edey. Now, first foul on Zach Edey. By the way, with Micah Shrewsbury, his parents, being from nearby, are in the stadium today. There is Brenda and Bill actually celebrating his 80th birthday today. So happy birthday. Happy birthday. Micah says they've been a good luck charm because Penn State is 5-1 with them in the building. Unfortunately, their one loss that they were in attendance for was at the Palestra against Purdue. Henn off the mark. Edey kicks it out.
Fred is just right there on the catch, but you got to rotate or else Lawyer's going to make you pay.
Fletcher Lawyer, and Purdue's back up double digits.
They've done a nice job on the initial trap, but they haven't been nearly as good at getting out.
Here's Pickett. You talked about it, Rob. He's got just 2 points, 1 of 5 from the field. And now he's got 4 points.
That's where he just excels. I mean, he just keeps you right there on his hip or on his back. And Ethan Morton trying to get back up underneath, but he keeps you right there.
Coming up, stick around. State Farm halftime report from Chicago with Dave Rayfeld and Coach Weber. And Purdue with a rare turnover, just their second. Dredd, transition 3. Got it to drop it, hit every part of the rim and falls through.
Turn the basketball over, and then you don't find your man in transition. Miles Dredd, the guy who's made a ton of threes in his time at Penn State, just 2 of his last 14 for the last 3 games, but you have to understand that that's 100% what he wants.
Later on for Piscataway and everything else going on around the conference. Zach Edey hasn't scored since the 10-minute mark. Can Purdue get him a shot here?
Penn State started zone, and they went man. Trying to mix and match defenses and throw Purdue off.
Gillis, no. Edey, though, taps it out. Matt Painter saying, don't shoot. The shot clock's off.
Smart play by Mason Gillis, but a great effort by Zach Edey to back tap that right back.
Well, they reset the shot clock to 20, so there is about a 3.5-second difference here. Lawyer, tough shot. It did graze rim. And knocked out, they'll say it belongs to Penn State.
Run the time down to see where the time would be and determined it would have been a shot clock violation at 9.9.
Well, there you go. And now Purdue has fouls to give, several of them, so Ethan Morton picks up his second.
That was a doozy. That's a lot going on right there. Right, back to 30, and then it's off.
Yep.
And then back to 20.
Yep. Yeah, so they were trying to figure out where it should have been. Obviously, for Purdue, it's unfair because they're just looking
Purdue
up.
gets a raw deal.
Yeah, because they're just looking up at the number. Anyway, still 2 fouls to give. We'll see if Purdue does it again, and they do. Fletcher Lawyer, his first. And now Micah Shrewsbury is going to take a timeout here with 5.5 left.
They've got each of those. Nebraska away and Minnesota on the road as well.
Oh, they throw this pass away. Gillis has had a great half. Oh, that would have been the cherry on top. It would have given him a career high. And in the first meeting between these two teams, they only shot 3. And Micah Shrewsbury was very vocal. He was not happy about that after, and he got a technical during that game for arguing with the officials.
They're trying to find a look for funk here. Pretty good job by Gillis and Lawyer right there of snuffing that action out.
Inside, there's Pickett. Great start for Penn State in the second half.
Little post up there coming from the top. Post trap can't come over when you enter it into the post from the top of the key. And Pickett doing his work early, holding off Lawyer, getting an easy bucket to start the second half.
Jalen Pickett on one end, Smith on the other. There's Edey. Morton saves it off of Funk. Heads up play by Ethan Morton.
Post ups, it's a post trap immediately. He's had to give it up. He's made the right play.
Zach Edey hasn't put up a shot in 11 minutes of game action. Hard to believe. There is Gillis with another three. He already has a career high 15.
That's just based off the fact that Edey is drawing so much attention. Three bodies, then transition. This is a wide open shot. Purdue very fortunate.
And then Lundy not only missing the shot, but picking up the personal. But you can't give up those looks. I mean, Rob, we said it, but this is a Penn State team. They live and die by the three-point line.
And in wins, they have absolutely lit it on fire. 42% from three, almost 12 makes a game. And their losses, just 31%, down near 8. So you're right, living and dying by the three.
5 of 16 tonight. Gillis, my goodness, have a night, Mason Gillis.
They're just daring him to shoot it. You've got Caleb Dorsey parked right by Zach Edey, and Mason Gillis is making the Nittany Lions pay for it.
Lawyer almost had a steal. Pickett gets it back. No, they're going to say a foul on Jalen Pickett. It's the first foul on Pickett. You notice Mason Gillis started the second half, not the first, and he has 21.
There's that trap. Edey's gotten so good at that. Coming over, trapping, getting the ball out of his hands, and then that's a really nice rotation by Purdue, contesting that jumper.
Oftentimes when you and I do a Purdue game here, I talk about this could be a danger zone. This feels like this could be a danger zone for Penn State.
Absolutely. This is one of those situations where you feel like Matt Painter's dialing it up for Mason Gillis once again.
This time inside the arc, of course.
Just a smart read, though. A little delayed on that play. The timing wasn't great, but he back cut, found the open area, and Braden Smith found him.
Mason Gillis on a personal 11-0 run right now. Where does Penn State turn? Again, this is their guy, Pickett. Lundy, their second leading scorer, drives and gets the bounce. Lundy has 11. But still, Jalen Pickett has been held in check in this game.
Ready for that. That was another play for Gillis. They were trying to screen him in. Had that little dribble to the baseline, but the play is to pin Gillis back in.
Morton will take it. Everything falling for Purdue.
This is the risk you run when you are showing this much attention to one player. There's open shots available. Micah Shrewsbury knew this could be a possibility, but Purdue is torching the Nets here in the second half.
Dredd, long rebound, Morton.
This is Ethan Morton playing harder right there. That was a 50-50 ball, and Morton coming up with it.
That one rolls around and off for Fletcher Lawyer. Purdue had hit their last 5 shots, and then they missed the easiest one right there at the rim. So tough for defenses. I mean, Michigan State gives up 38 to Edey. So Penn State, smaller lineup, they try some different things, and Purdue starts making all the outside shots. As you said, pick your poison.
I mean, they're the #1 team in the country, so you got to give something up. And right now, it's what do you give up?
10 3-pointers tonight against 7 of those from Gillis. Meanwhile, Edey on the heels of another double-double, which is just ho-hum for him. He's got 9 points, 11 rebounds.
I also think they should stop doing this to Gillis so those threes stay under 9.
Yeah, you just don't want your record here at Mackey to be broken.
Keep that. He can join us at 8, but 9 that'd be tough to swallow.
The all-time Purdue record for threes was Carson Edwards, 10.
Incredible game.
In that heartbreaking Elite 8 loss in 2019 against Virginia. And this isn't going to help Penn State. That's an offensive foul. I wonder if Micah Shrewsbury is a little more calm with his language over there with his parents a couple rows behind the bench.
I have a feeling that probably does not impact things. Penn State just blowing that play up. That's that play they love to run for Lawyer top of the key and then enter the ball into the post to Edey. Welcome to the club, Mason.
8 3-pointers, tying the Mackey record. Funk. Gillis doing everything else. Why not grab the rebound?
Mason Gillis, I am letting this thing fly immediately.
Everybody in this building wants one thing. Well, I guess that'll work.
That'll do.
Winner, stop and pop. Edey with a block. Leak out. Smith to Lawyer. Good job by Pickett, though, to knock it off Lawyer's leg, and it will belong to Penn State.
Just a great effort there. Getting back in transition. And boy, Mason Gillis, what a night he has had right there. Carson Edwards, my man Ryan Smith. Conzo Martin made 8 in this building, too. He's back in the early 90s.
He's the only player to come off the bench and hit 8 threes. You and your buddies, you were all starters, but, well, good job by Matt Painter in the second half, though, to start him after not starting him in the first half, and then he had the first 11 points of this half.
What a tough decision that had to be with the way he was playing.
It is the Mason Gillis game. That's what this will be known as. Pickett, little bully ball. Drops it down, and Dorsey gets it to bounce in. But still Purdue opening this up. 21 right now. 13 and a half to play. Gillis. Inside the arc. Oh, it rolls around and off.
A smart play, but not the play people want. He did get to his pull-up.
Purdue has won 5 straight in this series, and unless Penn State has a big-time comeback in their pocket, could go to 6. Pickett skips the other way to Dredd. And Dredd and everybody else is a little cold from deep. They're 5 of 20 as Penn State from three-point land.
Over in the second half.
A team that makes almost 11 threes a game, but not tonight. Morton and Lundy flies through. Well, their formula worked against Michigan. Hunter Dickinson, not as big as Zach Edey, but they held him last game to 6 points and 2 rebounds. And Penn State hit 13 threes and blew Michigan out of the water. But it's been a different story tonight. They turn it over. But that formula against Michigan, it's just different when you face this Purdue team.
No, it certainly is. And Purdue has so many people that can beat you. We've seen it today with Mason Gillis. They're just not guarding Ethan Morton, but they're also not guarding Braden Smith. They haven't exactly followed their game plan the way they wanted to. And this is snowballed to the point where Purdue is just absolutely in a rhythm.
Largest lead of the night now at 24. This is turning into a clinic here at Mackey Arena.
Me, Coach Martin, Ryan Smith, Carson Edwards.
Getting a breather, and Zach Edey still on the bench. He's on track to play the fewest minutes of Big Ten play here tonight. Around the arc to Lundy. Lundy, too much.
Good help though. Coffin coming over, going straight up, and making it tough for Lundy there, who on the drive thought he had an opportunity maybe to let it go from 3, and instead the help defense for Purdue pretty good.
And Purdue's defense focused so much on their offense, which is so spectacular, but their defense is also top 20 in the country. Kaufman lays it in.
Elite ball fake. Just a look off from Braden Smith.
Braden Smith, 8 assists. Sometimes he gets lost in the shuffle with how many guys they have for Purdue. Lundy fighting through the screen, count the 3 and the foul against Braden Smith, who's made 340 of them this year. And their opponent's just 156. Such a discrepancy between the two teams at the line. Braden Smith, and he gets it fading away from 17.
Purdue has made an effort when Pickett's brought the ball up, that they have tried to pressure him and try to wear him down with that pressure.
Held him to 6 points. He averages 18. Here he's looking for another assist, and he's got it, finding his good buddy Seth Lundy.
Lundy's had himself a ball game. Penn State has not shot the basketball well, but Seth Lundy has been the one guy. 18 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 3 of 6 from downtown. Pass from Pickett set the table.
And he's coming off 22 last game as Lundy, but here Lundy's going to pick up the foul. The 2 free throws coming. Well, one thing we did want to pass along, Rob, is well wishes, and I know you want to say this as well, to Brian Newbert, writer for GoldenBlack.com, follows Purdue as well as anybody, had successful surgery yesterday to remove a brain tumor. Brian, we hope you get well and get back soon, buddy.
Yeah, and he has been a guy who has covered Purdue at the highest level since before I was even in high school. You know, he's just a phenomenal writer, does a great job covering Purdue athletics, and Brian, just want you to know, man, we're thinking about you. Everybody here in this arena is rooting for you, had your back, and we can't wait to see you back here at Mackey Arena.
Absolutely. Purdue with a 22-point lead. Mahaffey, and now up top to Pickett. Penn got the hot start. He's in double figures, but he hasn't scored this half. Pickett, though, knocking down a triple. Pickett, who does so much for this team, leads him in all 3 categories. Lundy with a rebound, so Penn State showing a little fight here. Now you can tell Pickett wanted that again, and all of a sudden, Jalen Pickett getting into a rhythm. In 128 college games, he's averaged 37 minutes a game. That's hard to do. Edey imposing his will with the left hand.
That's the counter right there. That post trap is coming middle of the floor, and usually you see Zach Edey. He wants to get left shoulder. Where there he saw the double team and got to the right shoulder. The left jump hook.
14 and 11 to Edey. Here's Pickett again. This time driving to the basket. Edey corrals the miss. I was surprised he didn't take the 3, but I guess Edey was closing in.
Coming for him, but still, you go into the trees down there. It's no joke.
Off the Smith miss, up top to Lawyer. The defense recovering. Under 8 media timeout at the next whistle. Penn State trying to claw their way back into this game.
Zach Edey wasn't ready for that. He thought that was going up.
Well, the way Gillis has shot it, I can understand why he thought that. Pickett This is what he does so well.
Takes his time.
Finding Funk. Well, Penn State had hit 4 straight threes until that miss.
Funk has had a tough evening here. 1 of 8, 0 of 5 from 3. Pickett's always going to be looking for his shooters, but I thought maybe he could have taken that opportunity to score that at the rim.
Interesting for Funk, such a great shooter. He was 1 of 8 the last time these two teams met. His worst performance of the season, struggling again here tonight.
He certainly is, and he's been a very good player in his time here in West Lafayette. Is one of those guys that has definitely sacrificed for the betterment of the team. My goodness. We saw that at the Palestro, where Penn State had such issues guarding ball screen action, and Braden Smith throwing it up, and Zach Edey throwing it down.
They're good in that two-man game. Second time we've seen that tonight. Penn State had made a little run, but all of a sudden, just like that, the Boilers back up 20. Lundy trips, and they're going to say a foul.
I hope he's okay. Grabbing that ankle.
Some pain, still down. He has been their leader tonight, 18 points on the heels of having 22 Sunday against Michigan.
Just gets tied up there, steps on, it looks like Michael Henn's foot.
Yeah.
The crowd just saw that.
Yeah, the crowd saw the replay and they reacted. And he's going to take a seat, they'll check him out.
Seth Lundy has had a great season. 14 points a game, 47 from the field, 43 from 3. Very good defensive player.
And his nickname on defensive end is Lockdown Lundy for a reason. They really rely on him. The hayfeed, throwing it down. Good feed from Pickett there.
Just in such a bind there if you're Fletcher Lawyer. You're guarding a guy in Andrew Funk who can really shoot it from the perimeter. You're going to be that weak side help defender. He is hugged up on that perimeter, and that's a dunk from a hayfeed.
Foul on him there on the catch. Who had 11 points in the first half, but has not even attempted a shot here in the second half.
I feel like Penn State has done a really nice job on Edey. And this free throw is for his 18th point, and he's got 13 rebounds.
That game on Sunday against Michigan State when he had 38-13, his 5th game this year of 30 points and 10 rebounds.
I honestly think he's the most dominant Purdue player since Glenn Robinson. And that is rare air. Big Dog scored 1,000 points in one season, averaged 30 a game.
And you think of the players that have come through here, yourself included, that's quite a statement.
I mean, yeah, Biggie Swanigan and Carson Edwards, Jaden Ivey, Etwan Moore, Jawan Johnson, Carl Landry. There's studs that have played here, and he's more dominant than every one of them.
And it's truly not out of the question, Rob, that he could return for next season.
He could. He totally could. Now, I don't see how he does not play in the NBA.
There's the Mackey record, 9 threes for Gillis.
What a performance.
Tipped around, comes back to Winter. And Winter will let it fly, and he hits a 3 on the other end. The Mackey crowd all rose to their feet after that Gillis 3. Now they're sitting back down. A couple folks over here patted you on the back.
It was like a time of mourning over here.
They knew that your record was broken.
You know what? What an incredible shooting display, though. And Mason Gillis has fought through so much in his career, man. He deserves it.
They're chanting his name. Smith's going to try to find him, I guarantee you that. Instead, it's Morton. Now the question is, will Gillis get 30? Again, his career high coming into this ballgame was 14. And Winter lost it.
Yeah, down there, switching onto a point guard, moving his feet. You talk about the next level for him, and guarding pick and roll and sticking in front of some of these guards is going to be something that he's going to have to do. Mason Gillis has got to shoot this, regardless. The night he's having.
Instead, Edey throws it away. Winner. Blocked by Moore. This time Gillis cutting to the rim and getting fouled. He'll have a chance to get to 30. Oh, he missed it. Rebound though to Trey Kaufman rim. Knocked out of bounds. 9 of 12 from outside the arc. Purdue has 32 bench points. Gillis has 29 of them. Boilermakers on their way to starting 22-1. That lone loss here against Rutgers on January 2nd. Think about teams that have started this well in Big Ten history over the last 30 years, and really 2005 Illinois, 2007 Wisconsin, and 2011 Ohio State, the only other teams in the last 30 years that have had starts to a season like Purdue.
That's quite the company right there, too, when you're talking about teams in Big Ten history that have gone on to make serious noise in the NCAA tournament. I still think that Purdue can continue to improve. They have young guards. Defensively, they've come a long way since last season. Got some guys coming off the bench who...
Sellersburg, Indiana, down near Louisville.
Done a great job of defending without fouling, playing big minutes, and where you go through some struggles, whether it's foul trouble or some sort of adversity. Purdue's got a really good team. Just got to figure it out along the way.
Meanwhile, Penn State going to drop to 5-6 in conference action. Talked about where they are right now in the NCAA tournament picture. They're in a good spot. Just ran into a bit of a buzzsaw here tonight.
At the end of the day, it's just one game. They have got to hold serve on their home court, and they've got to keep beating the people below and around them.
And they're 11-1 at home this year, but they're 3-7 after this game away from the Bryce Jordan Center. Talked about trying to avoid losses to Nebraska and Minnesota, and they will have Nebraska on Sunday. Show those Big Ten standings, but what's kind of taking Rutgers for granted, at least to start the season, but they're right behind Purdue.
They certainly are. A team that can really guard you. Steve Peichel, the job that he has done in Piscataway, unbelievable. They just seem to reload this season, even though Geo Baker and Ron Harper Jr. have moved on. They have had quite the year themselves and have an opportunity to make some noise come March.
Obviously, that win they had here, the biggest thing on their resume. There's Jenkins. Yes, David Jenkins from deep. New season high for Purdue, 14 made three-pointers. Kanye Clary, no. And Dahlia Johnson also missing from deep. Penn State, 11 of 29 from long range.
It will be a different deal. You can feel the energy Purdue and Indiana meet. It is must-see TV.
Mahaffey gets it to go. Here are the students chanting, "Whose house? Our house." And 15,000 on their feet for this performance by the top-ranked team in the country to start off the month of February. Edey to 60, the final. Mason Gillis off the bench with 29 points. A Mackey Arena record, 9 3-pointers.